The Tumed are a Mongol subgroup. They live in Tumed Left Banner, district of Hohhot, and Tumed Right Banner, district of Baotou.Most. Engage in sedentary agriculture, living in mixed communities in the suburbs of Hohhot. Part of them live along Hulun Buir in Mongolia. There are the Tumeds in the suburbs of Mandal-Ovuz, Bulgan, Tsog-Ovuz, Sotsetsi, Manlai, Guman, Byandalai and Sevre of Umnagoviamag, Mongolia. At the beginning of the 9th–13th centuries, the Kori Tumed lived near the western side of Lake Baikal. They lived southern Irkutsk Oblast, some part of Tuva and southwestern Buryatia. In 1207, Genghis Khan, after conquering the Kori Tumed, decided to move some of these groups south, and these people eventually settled in the southern parts of the Great Gobi. But it seems that the Tumed people had no strong connection with those forest people in Siberia. The Tumeds first appeared as the tribe of the Mongolian warlord Ogalan Taishi in the mid-15th century. In Mongolian chronicles, they were called 7 Tumeds or 12 Tumeds. Because the Kachin and other Mongol clans joined the league, they were probably called 12 Tumeds later. Under Dayan Khan and his successors, the Tumeds formed right wing of the eastern Mongols. The Tumeds reached the peak under the rule of Altan Khan in the mid-16th century. They raided the Ming dynasty and attacked the Foro-Irats. The Tumeds under Altan Khan recaptured Karakoram from the hands of the Irats, but the outcome of the war was not decisive in the 16th century. They are also famous for being the first of the Mongol tribes converted to Buddhism. They submitted to the Qing dynasty and allied against the Chafar Mongols in the early 17th century. They were included in Joseon League of the Qing. The Tumed were Sinicized linguistically in the late 19th century, and by the early 20th century, many of the leaders rose to the very top government, party, and military positions in the newly rounded IMAR, and some attained leading national posts in Beijing and elsewhere. Ulan Hu, a Tumed Mongol born near Ho, the capital of Inner Mongolia, who dominated the politics of the region until his death in 1989, and was the highest-ranking Mongol in the Communist Party of China. After the 1920s, as the Tumed began to interact with other Mongols, they began to feel an acute sense of inadequacy regarding the Mongolian language skills. In the 1950s, they set up many nationality primary schools and middle schools that recruited only Mongolian students. In these schools, Mongolian was taught as a subject, one considered of equal importance to Chinese, though all other subjects were taught in Chinese. During the Cultural Revolution years 1966–76, Mongolian instruction was largely abolished. A new attempt to provide a Mongol education began in September 1979. The Tumed Banner built a Mongolian nationality primary school in October 1982 in the Banner Center. The school then had 8 classes divided into 3 grades, with 201 boarding pupils, all taught in Mongolian. Chinese was taught only from grade 5. The students were not allowed to leave the compound without permission, and, during vacations, they were often sent to the grassland to learn directly from pure Mongol-speaking herders, lest they be contaminated by the Chinese-speaking parents and relatives or Chinese neighbors.